And tonight's topic is Elon Musk the king or is he the kingmaker? It is very important to understand what is developing across the world. The problem with a lot of Christians is they do not know how to understand their faith in relation to world events. And most of the people enjoy, fake news or misinformation. So what I give you is actually things that are really very important and at the same time very needful for you to understand so that you are on the right side of things. Yeah. Now, when it reach 1 hour, can someone alert me so that we take a break because I don't want to continue without taking a break. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, reading between the lines is very important because basically sometimes when we see something or when we hear something, we do not really what the media is trying to tell us, what the media is trying to hide. We just doesn't know. So it takes some thinking, it takes some research, it takes some what you call wisdom for you to see and understand this. And I find this very much lacking among Christians. Christians are easily deceived, very sadly, and are easier deceived than unbelievers. So that's why I continuously do this meeting whenever I have the time. Yeah. Now we all been reading about the American election. Yeah. We hear about it and we see it in the news, we see it in YouTube, we see it in Facebook, we see it all over the place. Yeah. And sometimes we also learn about the last days, the end times. And very sadly is many of us hear from preachers and teachers without actually ourselves understanding it. And we follow what people tell us about the last days. And often these people, when they get it wrong, you too get it wrong. I'm sure some of you seen videos about Trump, and many people hated Trump. And I know of many Christians who hate Trump. And today I received another text message from another person about Trump and that, condemning Trump and also Elon Musk. Yeah. And these are Christians. All right. What you see in this slide is I put the impact of social media and the need to detox the mind. Truly, Christians need to detox their mind very much. And because of these people who put out a lot of negative things about Trump, it causes people to react. And some of these people may be very immature, psychotic, or evil, or easily influenced. They begin to react like this young man by the name of Crooks. All right. He attempted to assassinate Donald Trump. And then another one by the name of Ralph went to the golf course, in Mar-Lago, and he tried to assassinate Trump as well. So you can see media can influence people to do things that are what you call evil because of the influence. Yeah. So you have actually, media like this, wanted, dead or alive. The bounty on Trump is real. You see, all this repeatedly over a period of time, people begin to register this. Yeah. And the latest is you see this. This is the latest a few days ago. Read Trump would be assassin Ryan Wesley wrote chilling letter offering 150,000 to anyone who could finish the job. This letter shouldn't be published out in the open. You see this news, where it come from? It come from the people who are against Trump. So when they put this letter out, some people will think, wow, if I kill him, I will have 150,000. Who will give me this? I will do the job. Can you see this? How things can influence people because of the media is very, very powerful. But I'm going to show you some very interesting thing about what's going on in America. And like I say again, whether you're living in Singapore, Australia, uh, India, Hong Kong, or anywhere, anything happen in the US, it will affect you. That's why you have to be concerned. You have to be not just concerned, of great concern. Now, this lady by the name of Tulsi Gabbard, she used to be in the army, all right? And she was a Democrat. And she also quite influential. She ran for the presidency in 2020. So that means she fought against Trump. But this lady, very feisty lady, she left the Democrat Party to join Republican Party to help Trump. See, Gabbard called for other common sense, independent, mindful Democrats to accede with her. So she asked people to leave because she can no longer be with the party because she said that this party is elitist cabal of warmongers. Being a military woman herself, she understands what is going on with the Democratic Party. Now, another person that left is obviously Tesla. Tesla's founder, Musk. He said he no longer support Democrat, will vote for Republican. And that was in May 19, 2022. Something must have caused him to change his mind. All right. Because now some people can see whatever the media is trying to do. Yeah. And another very important person is Bobby F. Kennedy Jr. He too left the Democratic Party to join Donald Trump. All right. He's a good man. All right. But the problem is his own party ostracized him. All the things he stands for is righteousness, justice, all right? He's anti-corruption and anti the big pharma. And this that I mentioned is supported by the Democratic Party. So the Democratic Party doesn't want him. If he were to be a nominee, he will be nominated to be running for the presidency, but they don't want him. So he eventually left the party to join what they call Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson, another person in the media, very powerful. Read the news. Tucker Carlson passionately hates Trump. And 8 more key revelations about Fox News from new Dominion filings. Today, this man who hated Trump say he is backing Trump in 2024. Something is going on that we do not understand. Okay? And the latest disclosure is Zuckerberg of Facebook, right? And he also owns WhatsApp. He said in 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressure our team for bans to censure certain COVID-19 content. All right. And also attack Donald Trump. Okay. Now, these people are famous people. These people have changed their perception because now they know the truth. All right. But many of us Christians still doesn't know the truth. People who doesn't know God can see the problem, and we are still Trump haters, some of us. It's very, very strange, I tell you, that Christians are so easily influenced by the media that they become very psychotic, I would use the word. The word of God in John 8:32 says, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So my intention of doing this meeting is not to take sides. Neither am I supporting Elon Musk or Donald Trump. I just merely want to tell you the truth, why you need to know the truth. I will explain throughout this meeting. And this kind of meeting will be continuous because I see a lot of Christians are very deceived by the media and they doesn't know how to come out of it. So I hope that what I do can help people see the light, know the truth, and live by the truth. That's my intention. Yeah. So the question is, what is at stake? Now, the problem actually began when Obama became president. When he became president, he began to change a lot of things in the Democratic Party, and he began to cow down to the deep state, all right, the globalists, the WEF, whatever you name them. I have evidence to prove to you my point, all right? And I've got a very good movie if you want to watch a documentary film made about Obama. That what is made about Obama today, if you watch that documentary, you will see all these things happening now. And that documentary was made in 2007 or 2008. You need to watch this documentary. If you want it, I will give you the title or I can send it to you. If you're in my chat, I send it to you. You watch this documentary. It will help you to understand. Yeah. So today, America experienced things like in a third world country, riots. All right. There were many riots, including the recent one where they are supporting the Palestinian cause, supporting Hamas in Washington, D.C. A lot of things is happening. And under the Democratic Party, the American government took the country to war in Ukraine. Although it is a not direct war, it is a proxy war. And then they left Afghanistan like a dog with the tail underneath and ran off and leaving behind billions of US dollars worth of military hardware. Left behind for who? For its enemy, the Taliban. The very enemy that they fought for, all the things is given to them. The Hummer vehicles, all right, the tanks, everything given to them. They chow, lari quack quack, people say. Yeah. This government, if they is elected again, the result will be this totalitarian government where the subject or the people living in the country no longer has a voice. There is no freedom of speech. There is no privacy. And we don't want this to happen. In any country, we don't want a totalitarian government. Can you imagine America becoming like that? I could not imagine that. All right. But if they were to come into power, I would use the word it will be the beginning of the last days. Why I say that? Very simply, I explain to you. Now, if they take over, the key thing is the illegal migrant coming in from Mexico. Tons of them are coming in. In fact, they don't have the record even. There are about 30 million already. And that takes up of how much of the percentage of the American population? Can you tell me? You can't. It's almost 20% of the American population, and it is still coming in. So I'm going to throw a question at you. The people that come in illegally and allow them to be citizens of America, will they vote for the Democratic Party or they'll vote for Republican? Can someone just tell me? If you are not muted, those who are not muted, can you just answer this?
Democratic.
Yeah, they will vote for Democratic Party forever because the voting ratio is very close, very very close. For to win the party or to lose is very very close. Even right now, as a race is going on, although it favors Trump, Trump still can lose if there is a change in the what they call the swing state. They call it, yeah. But the electing process is different from other places like Malaysia or Singapore. That is what we call the electoral vote, which is I don't understand even. So it's different from us. And if this number of people come into the country and are become voters, so the Republican Party will never be voted in again because they were against the migrant from coming in. So if Donald Trump lose, my brother and sisters, you get ready, really get ready for the last days already. All right, because everything will be under total control already. America is gone. As a democratic country, is no longer democratic. All right. And then from there, all these things that you're fearful about one world government, new world order, one monetary system, the mark of the beast, it will come in already. Now, why is it important to understand? Because I believe that God is using Donald Trump to buy us some time. Whatever it is written in the Bible will still come to pass, will still happen, but it can be delayed because of your response. Remember Hezekiah? Anybody can remember Hezekiah? He was about to die, but he asked for how long? 15 years. Anybody remember that?
Yes.
Did God
Yes.
honor it? God honor it. So it can be delayed. Eventually, Hezekiah still died, but he was given extra 15 years. Therefore, in the same manner, we should do likewise. So you can see, all right, they attack their own people, their own kind. That is Robert Kennedy Jr., a very good man, a very righteous man, honest man, and they attack him. So now he's out the party. So why is all this happening? What's the agenda behind it? And what has got Trump to do with this? So let us now look at Trump, a very important player in this. I'm not Trump, sorry, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a very big player in this. Who doesn't know Elon Musk? Everybody know him because of Tesla, because of Starlink, because of PayPal. You know, he is co-founder of PayPal. He founded many things, but most famous is Tesla. Tesla is the electric car that is the first electric car to be sold on a global basis. All right. And he's reaped in billions of US dollars. And he also actually have SpaceX. He's the founder of SpaceX, where he intend to have tourism into other planets. And he also started Neuralink, which is to implant, a chip in the brain. And the intention of it is to help people with neuro problem. Their nerves are all gone and then they cannot function, By putting this chip in, they are able to talk, they are able to move their hands or the legs. So this is a very good kind of industry he's in. And he's also the owner of Starlink. It is a Wi-Fi through satellite, right, that he's very famous for. And I can tell you this man is a genius. Why? If you can start just Tesla alone, the car, is already too huge already. But you have at least four of the major, what you call scientific efforts that will change the world is under his arm. And then just recently, he bought Twitter. Now today, he call it X. He changed the name to X. And then he sacked a lot of the people inside Twitter and put in a new team of people. Now, a lot of people do not understand why Elon Musk, no experience in social media, want to buy a platform like that at 44 billion. And that is a lot of money and a lot of risk he take to buy this company and then kick out all the executive, because without the executive, you cannot run the Twitter. But he is very fierce. He kicked them out for very good reasons. All right. Now we will cover this and understand this. So he took over Twitter. The reason is why. Why does he take over Twitter? And I can see two things involved. It is strategic, because the media today is the one that influence people. Media can influence people to buy Tesla. All right. The media can influence people to use certain products. Okay. Like Starlink. He can promote Starlink, SpaceX through his Twitter. And the most important thing that I see is this: the mass interview with Trump. Now, why this is important? Because I'm sure you know that all the major news in America, like CNN, ABC, and NCBC, Washington Post, New York Times, all these 100% against Trump. The only one supporting Trump is Fox News. And Fox News is not that big. 1 against 8 or 9, no match. So, logically speaking, the media is powerful. That's why people hate Trump. They hate Trump not because of his policies when he was running America. They hate Trump because of his past. All right, his past, how he deal with, porn star, how he tell lies, and a lot of things is about his past of his wrongdoing. Now, which man is perfect? Even Elon Musk, has how many children? More than 12 children under different women. He has a very colorful past as well. All of us have a past. So does Trump, especially as a multi-billionaire. All right. He didn't behave well in his youth. Okay. He was a playboy, womanizer, you name it, he do it. But there is something good about Trump. He is a man of his word. He is righteous. Okay. So why did the Democratic Party want to take down Trump? Is simply because what he wants to do is not agreeable to the deep state, like supporting Israel, like changing Israel, the capital of Israel, all right, to Jerusalem. Already, how many presidents have that in their desk? Almost 5 or 6 presidents for them to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Nobody dared to do it because they were afraid of the backlash of the Muslim nations. But he did it. All right. And he built up the wall to close the border in the south. He did it. He did all the things that nobody dared to do. All right. He forced American company to build their factories in America so that America can prosper. And under him, the stock market went up. Under him, prices went down. And under him, the oil prices went down because he allowed fracking. That means to mine for the oil in the ground in America instead of buying from OPEC. So he did all the right things. And this is against the deep state. The deep state wants America to go into chaos, wants America to become an insignificant country without sovereignty. Why? Because if America does not come down, you will not have a new world order. The WEF or the globalists cannot take over. They need to take over. They need to submit to the deep state. That means you have to follow the global warming agenda. All the cars must be electric. Now, a lot of people never think about it. In those days, in the 80s, last century, I remember they say cannot use paper bag or the trees all will be cut and before that the world will be destroyed. There will be global warming. All right. Today, we say cannot use plastic, we must use paper bag. What happened to that? That's a deception. Okay. So today we have problem with plastic. So right now as well, they say you cannot use petrol and diesel because the fume will cause global warming. To me, it is illogical. It's illogical because there are things that can cause global warming, like for example, the air cons in the what they call the tropical countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, you find that people use aircon. The amount of heat produced by air conditioning is no joke. It is even worse than the petrol in the car that you believe that it break the ozone area, all right, or ozone zone. Now here, the question is very simple. The electric cars produce, you need to create electricity for the car. And to create electricity for the car, you need to build, all right, reservoir, all right, dams to bring about what you call the process of making electricity because all this water in the dam can produce the hydroelectricity. Or you got to use nuclear power to get the electricity, or you burn coal to get electricity. So it is, putting the cart before the horse or horse before the cart. It comes to square one. All right. And another question, do you know that all the lithium batteries is toxic? After 10 years, when the battery is gone, where are you going to put the batteries? And that will be another problem again. Can you see? All these idea of men have got an agenda. So you can see that even Donald Trump's account was cut off in Twitter, all right? And they wanted to ban Donald Trump from Facebook as well. And I want you to understand something very important. Media is very important because media reach out to a lot of people. Look at the outreach and the revenue that come from media. Look at the statistic. It continue to grow and grow. Each year it will grow, become more and more. So not just it reach out to a lot of people, at the same time, it make a lot of money. And the fight is between all these news agency, Newsweek, CNN, CBS, okay? All these news agency have come against Trump. And like I share again, that there are reasons behind it because this will quicken the world into become a one world government, one monetary system, one what you call world army. Everything will become one. Okay. And you can see that people no longer trust the main media. Look at the trust level or the people that view the media. You look, the weather channel is highest. Look at the amount for those other news. New York Times, USA Today, Times Magazine plus 1%. Newsweek now is 0. Newsmax -3. CNN -4. All right. So you can see that they have become very unpopular. That's why they need to fight Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk X reach out to more than 1 billion people and continue to grow while the main media continue to decrease. So which is more powerful today? It is X. And they cannot accept what Elon Musk is doing. He's supporting Trump. they cannot accept. In fact, when Trump was being interviewed, they sabotage it by creating a problem in the internet that the sound was very bad and stuff like that. So something very big must be at stake for them to want to attack anybody that associate themselves with Donald Trump. Whether good or bad, they will attack the person. But the thing is that who is Elon Musk? Well, a lot of people know very little about him. And there is also the conspiracy theory that Elon Musk is a globalist, that he will use his technology to control everybody in the world. That is spoken about Elon Musk because of Neuralink. And many Christians believe, you know why? They send the messagings to me. All right. All these messages comes through WhatsApp nowadays. And I read it and I just think, I say, Christians, why don't they use their brain and think? Think before they send. They never think and they send. And when I tell them that this is fake news, they get angry with me. You see, I send only what? It's okay one lah, let people decide. My brother, when you send a fake news, it is a lie. You know who is the father of all lies? Can someone tell me?
Satan.
If Satan is the father of all lies and you sell lies, you send lies to people, you think that it is a good thing? It is a righteous thing to do? And these Christians get angry with me, for telling them don't send fake news. Check first. Before I begin to speak about this, I check my material first. Although I may make a little mistake here and there, but with due diligence, I check first before I share with you. Because if not, you are going to be deceived too by me. Yeah? So, because Elon Musk is supporting Trump, the deep state also is targeting Elon Musk. But we think that Elon Musk is the enemy. So the Christians are confused. They are confused about supporting Israel or hating Israel, supporting Trump or against Trump. We are confused because we don't understand. So the deep state now is targeting Trump. They're trying to get him. Okay, let me show you some of the recent things that developed. EU warns Musk before Trump chat. They warn him, you make sure you don't give fake news. I wonder who are the people giving fake news. It's very confusing today. And then they threaten to even jail him if he says something wrong. Now, remember that Europe and America is two different places, all right? How dare someone from Europe want to arrest Elon Musk? Does it make sense? And even United Kingdom, our Prime Minister want to arrest Elon Musk because he interfered with what you call the British politics. Now, for your information, we have voted in the Labour Party, and the Labour Party is left, like the Democratic Party. So they are the birds of the same feather that will flock together, that will try to, or what we call, that will suppress information. Yeah. So Musk, Trump endorsement, they say could hurt Tesla. News came out, Forbes daily briefing. So these are the attacks that a lot of people don't see. They think it is news. They are trying to tell people don't buy Tesla because Musk support Trump. A lot of people cannot read between the lines. This is just what it means simply. Musk's Trump endorsement could hurt Tesla. So he's trying to say that if you are a supporter of Democrat Party, don't buy Tesla. Just that. Then I'm showing you again. Why Elon Musk clashed with the UK government over far-right riots? We recently have a riots in United Kingdom. This riot happened because there are too many migrants coming into the country, illegal migrants, sail from the British Channel, come over, And once they come in, we have to give them asylum. And these people have overrun the nation already. Churches are turned into mosques, all right? During the month of Ramadan, it is announced in the capital, but when Christians celebrate Christmas, they cannot put Jesus in the manger in public places for fear of offending the Muslims or the minorities. See what is happening to the West and the Christian world. Slowly, we are giving our rights to our enemy. British MP wants to hold Elon Musk before Parliament over riots. Elon Musk didn't have anything to do with the riots in UK. He just made comments about it. How the government has got double standard when there's riots among the M people, all right, the government does not deal with it like the people who are fighting for their rights, the British people. So we have become ostracized by our own government, whether it's in America, Europe, or United Kingdom. Something is going on. Yeah. You can see here, Elon Musk is a very rough word. I want these Estonian retards out of my flat now. This is not Elon Musk saying. This is the MP of the Labour Party says. Okay, to show that he's claiming Elon Musk is a racist. Elon Musk have this in his Twitter. He showed to you that their own politician, is so racist. Yeah, that's where the power of the media is. It says here, Elon Musk should be arrested for inciting violence, former Twitter executive argue. Threat of personal sanction is much more effective on executive than risk of corporate fines. So they want to put Elon Musk into prison. Elon Musk must testify in SEC probe of his Twitter takeover, judge says. You know what it means? They are trying to find fault with what you call Elon Musk buying Twitter. Okay? And this is even under the FBI. All right? They want to find out whether he did anything illegal or not. In any transaction, there are certain areas that are not really black and white. Okay? So, and that can be exemplified or make it big so that, it become a problem and they try to stop Elon Musk. All right. They have only about 40 days to go before the election. And I can tell you that Trump is winning. When you will know that to read between the lines is you hear this type of news. All right. When they are attacking the person that give the media to Trump, okay, you will find that they become very lethargic. Okay, they don't want to lose. They cannot lose. They cannot afford to lose because their agenda cannot be fulfilled if Donald Trump wins. So the best option is kill him. That is why what you are seeing now is actually violence coming in because normal media cannot work because now we have a bigger media fighting for Trump. Okay, and this media, the influence is not 50 million people, it influenced billions of people even out of America. So they have a big problem with Elon Musk. Okay, why? You see here, I read it to you. Over the past month, Twitter news owner Elon Musk has made available a handpicked group of journalists, internal documents, and conversations that took place before his takeover. They are mainly discussion about who and what should be moderated or banned, ranging from the Hunter Biden laptop story to the question of whether to remove Donald Trump from the platform. The journalists have made public selected slices of the data through a drip feed of Twitter's thread. For some, the Twitter files provided evidence of collusion between tech companies liberal politicians, and the deep state to silence conservatives. For others, they constitute little more than a publicity exercise that told us nothing that we did not know. As anyone who has long made a case for the importance of free speech, I think we should take the Twitter file seriously, but also look at the discussion with a skeptical eye, given that much of it is framed by the cultural war, the Twitter file, the deep state connection. So the can of worms is out, and they couldn't get to how they're going to deal with this because Elon Musk is too big in America. He owns four major industries. You cannot kill this man because he will kill America. So they are in a big fix, yeah. So this is what Elon Musk say. The far left hates everyone, themselves included. And then Elon Musk used to support the Democratic Party. In 2022, he says he no longer support the Democrats, will vote for Republican. So he took change sides. For a man of such brilliance, such a genius who start four major companies, major billion dollars company, he's not a stupid man. He knows what is going on because all the things that happen in America will affect him as well. All right. If it become a one world government, it will affect him as well. Okay. If it become, one new monetary system, new financial system, it will affect him as well. He must be on top of everything. Yeah. So this is what he says to prove my point to you that at this point of time, he's a good guy. Well, good guys can turn to bad guys, and bad guys can turn to good guys. I acknowledge that. But at this point of time, he's a good guy. This is what he says. WEF is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that the people never asked for and don't want. Wow, that hurts. If you are an official from WEF, that hurts. It speaks volume about the idea of this man. He knows what's going on. Yeah. And obviously, I'm going to show this to you to help you see what is coming. Now, if you look at the poster on the top yellow color, this is the emblem of the Freemason. Now, this is a poster of the Illuminati or the Freemasons. And a long time ago, all right, they produced this poster. It's about 400 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And in this poster is the word order ab chaos. It's a Latin word. It simply means order out of chaos. It is used as the motto of the 33rd degree Masons in the Scottish Rite. The phrase implies that the Masons' mission is to bring order out of chaos. I want you to understand that the world needs to go into chaos, whether it's China, whether it's America, whether it's Europe, whether it's Malaysia, whether it's Australia, whether it's New Zealand. The agenda is to get the nations to go into chaos. Because without the chaos, they cannot run the world, they cannot run the country. So this is an agenda, the hidden agenda. So you can see this meltdown in terms of flights, in terms of migration, COVID-19. These are the things that will cause the globalists to rule the world, the new world order. And another challenge is obviously BRICS. A lot of people is clapping hand for BRICS. all right, because BRICS will challenge the US dollars. And a lot of countries like China, Russia, not India, India is a fence-sitter, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Iran, UAE are very against the American dollars. So they want to bring down the American dollar. So it says here, could a US debt default unleash global chaos? Okay, could this unleash a global chaos? If BRICS were to rise up, yes. Because if BRICS rise up, then the greenback or the US dollar will not be used as the currency for trading. Today, all money have got to pass through SWIFT. It is a banking system from America. Without SWIFT, the money cannot go through. It is a system set up by the US, and it's important that this continue. If it doesn't continue, if BRICS come out, all right, then the American dollar will lose its value. What happened when it loses its value? Okay, now this is very easy to understand. Today, they have more than 30 trillion in debt. Okay, so America is living in credit. Okay, they are living in deficit. Everybody owes money. So the country already cannot function anymore. But because they create bonds, they sell the bonds, because based on trust of the American dollar, everything still goes on. Inflation rate come in, inflation go down, but the country still go on. But as long as the checks are not cash, no checks will bounce. What are the checks? The checks are all these bonds that all the nations bought from Japan, China, Korea, uh, Taiwan. Many nations buy the American bonds. As long as the checks are not cash, well, I still have money in my bank. I'm still okay. All right. But the moment people cash out, say, I don't want to use your US dollars, you take back your money, it's just become paper because it's not backed up by gold. It is not backed up by gold, and this will destroy everything before the new world order can come. It means that if you have 3 million ringgit in your account, it may become zero. All the currency in the world will go through a crisis. All right. I'm sure many of us don't want that to happen in your lifetime. So delay. If not, your money going to be gone. So this will bring about what we call global chaos. Financial disaster, all right, will cost much to the poor people. The rich people, they survive. The poor people, that's all they have. The money they have is all they have. Maybe with a small property, okay? Some don't have property, they rent, all right? They are sitting down. Then they will come under the new system, all right? You, like WEF says, you own nothing, but you will be happy. You heard that term? Anybody heard that term? Can you say yes?
Yes.
You own
Yes.
nothing, but you will be happy.
You are happy.
So we don't want this to happen. We don't want this to happen. The pandemic in 2020 causes Klaus swaps to say this. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. Okay? Now, the deterrence is Donald Trump. Can you imagine? The deterrence to this is Donald Trump. because this is the biggest economy in the world and it has the power to prevent this from happening. So COVID-19, the intention is to begin the work of the New World Order. And Obama's global warming agenda has got to be connected to this as well. So do not be too obsessed with this global warming agenda. It is fake. The intention is to control the world, all right? To make everybody submit to one world order. That's what is behind it. So the World Economic Forum, the United Nations are together. So WHO today is trying to make your country sign the pandemic treaty. Today, only 20 other nations among 100 other nations that signed the treaty. So they cannot do it as a global treaty. And they want to make everybody sign up. I don't know how they're going to do it, bribe, cheat, all right, force, whatever method, they will try to make everybody sign up. The bad news for all of you today is, I'm sure some of you now realize that the vaccine is bad, is evil. It causes a lot of side effects. It causes myocarditis or cardiac arrest. It causes clot in the blood. It revives cancer. Okay, cancer long gone, come back. Don't have cancer, now catch cancer. Young people in sports, they what they call collapse and die. So you see this in the vaccine by Pfizer. Now, if they have it again, the next one come, would you take it? You say no. But under the pandemic treaty, if you don't take it, they will come to your home, force you to take it. They will inject into you. So this is what is coming. All right. Now, to prove my point to you, I'm going to just play you a very short video from the World Economic Forum, what they think about Donald Trump. Okay, so remember, everything you need to read between the lines. So I'm showing you this video, you must understand why. You must learn to read between the lines. Watch this video, yeah?
Do you think this is going to increase the amount of conflict? Because I watched a video on your YouTube channel where you said the return of wars.
Yeah. That's one of the dangers that there is, and we see it all over the world now. Like 10 years ago, we were in the most peaceful era in human history. And unfortunately, this era is over. We are now in a new era of wars and potentially of imperialism. And we are seeing it all over the world. With the Russian invasion of Ukraine, now with the war in the Middle East, Venezuela and Guyana, some East Asia, war is back on the table. It's not just because of the rapid changes and the upheavals they cause. It's also because, 10 years ago, we had a global order, the liberal order, which was far from perfect, but it still kind of regulated relations between nations, between countries, based on the liberal worldview that despite our national differences, all humans share certain basic experiences and needs and interests, which is why it makes sense for us to work together to diffuse conflicts and to solve our common problems. It was far from perfect, but it did create the most peaceful era in human history. Then this order was repeatedly attacked, not only from outside, from forces like Russia or North Korea or Iran that never accepted this order, but also from the inside, even from the United States, which was the architect to a large extent of this order, with the election of Donald Trump, which says, I don't care about any kind of global order. I'd only care about my own nation. And you see this way of thinking that I only care about the interests of my nation more and more around the world. Now, the big question to ask is, if all the nations think like that, what regulates the relations between them? And there was no alternative. Nobody came up with and said, okay, I don't like the liberal global order. I have a better suggestion for how to manage relations between different nations. They just destroyed the existing order without offering an alternative. And the alternative to order is simply disorder. And this is now where we find ourselves.
Do you think there's more wars on the way?
Yes. Unless we reestablish order, there will be more and worse wars coming in the next few years in more and more areas around the world. You see defense budgets all over the world skyrocketing. And this is a vicious circle. When your neighbors increase their military budget, you feel compelled to do the same.
Would like to ask me any question before I continue? There's a question here that says, is there any evidence the COVID-19 was planned by the globalists? Yes, I've got a lot of materials on this, but I cannot do it just like that. You need actually 2 hours to really show to you in detail what actually happened, why COVID-19 came about, and did it start from Wuhan in the marketplace, or is the virus human manufactured for a purpose? Yeah. Alex says to everyone, Wuwal, no hurry. This election will tear the country apart. AI will control you by 2034. All right. Yeah, this election is really, it's never been happened like that. It is the most important election for the whole world. All right. I've been to many American elections. I never talk much about them. All right. A lot of people talk about the last one. They say Trump will become president, and some Christian prophesied and did not come true. But this one, I'm focused because I know what is going on. Yeah. So the globalist has a big plan. So now it's already unmuted. You can talk. Yeah. Let me go through what is written here. Coincidentally, there was an outbreak of unknown virus at Fort Detrick in Maryland, US in August 2013, and it was shut down by the CDC. It has briefly, can tell you this very easily, that COVID-19 was actually, the vaccine was even created before the outbreak. Okay. All right. There's a patent for it, and I can show you the patent and a lot of details, how they actually tested this virus, and I've got even a recorded message from Pentagon long time ago before COVID-19. It's about 10 years before COVID-19. Now, it was sent to me, but I never opened the file. It's only one day when I tried to clear my computer, unwanted file, I delete it, and then I listen to it before I delete. And this file, this is secret recording in Pentagon. Just I remind you that it was a discussion between a contractor to Pentagon. They were suggesting to deal with the problem of the Taliban in Afghanistan. They say the Taliban, they have a religious fervency, the jihad and all that. And this contractor to Pentagon told them that we have discovered that DNA, what you call part of the brain or the what you call the information that they can manipulate to change from a religious person to an unreligious person. So in order to deal with the Taliban, make them unreligious. That means they don't have fervency in religion. They have that gene. Okay, they have discovered that genetic gene, and they propose it to Pentagon. He said, you create a flu-like pandemic in Afghanistan, respiratory pandemic, something to do with the lungs. And then when you do that, we give you the vaccine and you vaccinate on all the people who are the Taliban, who are the religious people, you vaccine them, and then it will soften their, religious fervency. Shocking, right? Now, if they have that at the point of time, can you imagine COVID-19? All right, COVID-19 will be something that they put in that can, what you call, interfere with the genes. That's why you have cardiac arrest and stuff like that. So this is a evidence that I can give, about. I believe that this virus is manufactured. Yeah. Now, joy to everyone about the Neuralink. Will it be easily controlling human beings? Yes and no. Everything that humans make can be used for good and bad. The first bow and arrow is to shoot animal for food. It ends up with shooting people, become weapon of war. So is the rifle, so are the guns. It started with hunting and end up hunting human beings. Okay, bombs as well. The first dynamite was to break the boulders and all that to build houses. In the end, it's used to destroy houses. So it depends on the use. Certainly, you can use that to control mankind. But I'm very sure that you cannot force people to have a chip in your brain. It must be voluntary. That's why the mark of the beast is a voluntary thing. That means you must agree to it, then they put it onto you. Okay? Yeah, for the Starlink, is this low-hanging satellite that can track human mankind even without 5G tower? Well, all these are possibilities, but don't jump into the conclusion that Elon Musk is what you call from WEF, okay? As long as you don't jump into conclusion that these are possibilities, then it's okay, yeah?
Can I ask the low-hanging satellite, do they need to have the 5G tower so that can track people? Or actually, he doesn't need to have a 5G, then can connect to the whole world? 5G tower, then can only the low-hanging is covering the whole world.
Today, technology is moving very, very fast, okay? It may be not even 5G, it will be 6G, or it may be like Starlink, something like Starlink that may control every human beings on Earth. Look at Google Map is good enough. When I'm driving my car on the road, Google Map asks me, is the car that break down on the road, is it still there? Wow. And then drive further, it say, is the speed camera still there? Is the police there, trying to take picture of people of driving fast? So technology is now very advanced. Okay, the satellite can even see into people's home if they want to. They can hear conversation in the home. That's the possibility. All right. So we don't want to speculate. Just leave it as it is. All right. When I teach you this, you don't jump into conclusion that Elon Musk, all right, is the part of the globalists. All right, a lot of people jump to the conclusion just because he have Neuralink and Starlink. So we have got to have an open-minded to see things and then understand it and then apply it. Yeah, many Christians always jump into conclusion. That's why I do this meeting to help you be on the middle road, not to the left, extreme left, or to the extreme right. Okay. Yeah. Any more question? I see some of this question written.
I understand that what is this? Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari, they have set the timing for the New World Order to come into effect in 2030.
Yeah. 2030 is the date that the WEF target. That's why I'm going to explain to you that is why they are very afraid of Donald Trump, because it will delay everything. That video that I play to you, I can send it to you. Okay, that video actually tells you that the guy Harari, he was saying that following, if Donald Trump win the election, it will delay their implementation. Okay, so of what they intend to do. So
Yes.
they say like this fella is like crazy like that, because he doesn't agree with their objective. Because Donald Trump, for whatever good or bad things you say about him, he's doing the right thing. What are the good things he's doing? Support Israel. Okay. Number two, he's not going to fight a war. He tells you, and his committee people like Robert Kennedy Jr. is against the Ukraine war, and so is Vance is against the war. So they are people who want to bring peace to the nation. They are the people who want to sit down and talk. So these people doesn't want, they want the war. Now, why the war? Very easy to explain to all of you. All right, we are now reaching a curve. The curve is every great civilization will go into the highest point and will come down the lowest point. It is a curve. It is a natural curve. And once it go on the downhill, it cannot come back. Then another world order will take over. All right. And that new one coming up is China. Okay. And the West is going downhill. It's not sustainable. Whatever they do is not sustainable because of high cost of production. Okay. Now, because of that, this curve will take place, and they try to delay this curve. The way to delay this curve is only two ways: financial, okay, or war. That's why you see rumors of war, which I'll talk to you in the next part. Why war is coming. All right. So war will prevent China from becoming the greatest country in the world. It's already, right now at this point of talking, it's already there already in terms of technology. Okay. If I were to point to you now, maybe I'll do another topic about how advanced China is. It's already overtaken the West already. Okay. But what the West tried to do is to pull it back, to prevent it from moving so fast or destroy it. You see, that is what is on the table if the New World Order takes over, because China is not part of the New World Order. They will have to destroy China in order to be the New World Order. And the New World Order will come from the Western nation. Now, if it's a Western nation and China is coming out, they have got to destroy China. So this is the name of the game. I hope you can see it and understand it. All right. That's why I had to break down into small few meetings, because if I put all into one, I think some of you, your mind will explode. There'll be too much for you. So I break it down now, just talk about Elon Musk, why Elon Musk play a very important role right now, so that you can understand and digest this thing. And then whichever country you are, you have got to do your due diligence as a citizen of the country and also as a Christian. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, it says here Dr. Martin had a good video on COVID-19 patent. Yeah, I have a lot of videos, but I'm not going to talk about COVID-19. It's not, I'm not interested to deal with that anymore because it is an open secret already now. Yeah. In fact, there are many doctors and many politicians trying to sue Pfizer right now. Okay. Now, if that's why Donald Trump coming into the government is important, because this Robert Kennedy Jr., he is the one who is against the vaccine. He will get Pfizer to pay. I can tell you that. And he will rein in the FDA. Okay. Now, before I begin, I will talk a little bit about what I'm doing in the ministry. Earlier on in the year 2020, when everything was locked down, suddenly I got no place to preach. I cannot travel. I was locked in my own little flat in Malaysia. And I begin to realize something, because I always talk about the multimedia, that I want to do a work in the multimedia. And I never get to do it because I was so busy traveling to Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, going to US, okay, Europe, preaching all over the place. And I really don't have time to do this. Perhaps the lockdown was God's way of clipping my wings. Until now, 3 years, I have not fly already, but I'm still all over the world through Zoom meeting. So with that lockdown, I sit down and begin to do work in the media. And then the technology of Zoom came up. Ngam, just in time for me that I can teach, I can preach, I can do a lot of things through the media. I set up Shin Multimedia is to do the work of our Lord using the multimedia, because today the young people or people all over the world have access to the internet and they can join the meeting without coming to your country, all right, and easily be part of the participant. So, and I believe that projects like mine, like Who Are the Chinese, all right, the film is now available in YouTube and everybody can see it and learn to find God through the film. Okay, I'm going to make more of these materials. And I won an award for this film in 2010. And I made the second one called Elephant in the Church. That is to talk about the replacement theology. And I consistently speak in the internet. I call it Church Without Walls. So you don't need to go to a building to learn about God. So I make it there, and I make what I call evangelistic meeting as well through Zoom. Okay. And through Zoom, I'm able to achieve much, much more than when I physically go to a place to teach. Today, I've got almost 90 students where I teach them Old and New Testament. All right. Tomorrow, I will do the topic and teaching the survey of Old and New Testament. And some of you, if you want to have a taster of what I teach, you know, if you WhatsApp me, you say, I want to have a taster, then I will send to you some files, you look at it, and then you may consider you want to join the class. Because in this survey of Old New Testament, what I do is not to teach you like a Bible college or like your pastor in the church. What I do is to help you, to guide you to interpret scriptures by yourself. Then only when you make mistake, you cannot understand, then I guide you into the right interpretation. The intention is to help you to actually read the word of God, discern the word, understand the word by yourself without pastors, without lecturers from the Bible college. And the material is even better than from the Bible college. I can assure you that. And you will learn much in this Bible study that I have. You can check with the people who attended. They can tell you of how they have learned much about it. Maybe perhaps one of you who is in a student there, can you tell something to the people here about the Bible study? Not that I want to recruit students. My intention is to equip the believers how to read the Word of God for themselves. That's what I do. So can one of you from the Bible class, can you just tell what is your experience in this Bible class? Does it reveal a lot of things? Will it show a lot of things you never learned before in your whole life? Tell them, what is your experience? Can one of you unmute yourself and tell the audience? Yeah.
Yes, this is Lucy. Brother Reggie is very good and very detailed in his teaching. And no teacher will teach you for ringgit 500 for a whole year Bible study. No one except Brother Reggie.
Thank you for the affirmation. I actually, in the beginning, I will give you all the keys how to interpret scriptures. Then I show you the whole panoramic view of the Bible before I begin. Then after that, I break down into smaller parts for you to digest easier. Okay. And then also, I will make sure that you see the theme of the Bible. Now, the Bible is all connected. Each chapter, each book is connected to the next book. So a lot of people doesn't teach you how to connect all the different chapters from Old to New Testament. So I make it a point to show you how to connect all the dots. What is the central theme of the Bible? And also that when you hear something in the Bible, do you ask a question like, for example, we say Goshen, all right, where the Jewish people live in Egypt. Do you know where it is? Do you know how it looks like today? Okay, when we talk about, all right, certain things in the scripture, all right, like a certain tree, like the cedar of Lebanon. So I'll show you a picture of the cedar of Lebanon. Okay, when you talk about Hezekiah's tunnel, okay, do you know that the Hezekiah's tunnel exists still today? Then I show you a picture of it. So with that, Bible study become very interesting. It's not just words, yeah. It become geographical, it become historical, it become really amazing. Like for example, we talk about Noah's Ark. I show you where Noah's Ark landed, and I show you evidence of why I say it landed in the place. When I talk to you about the battle between what you call David and Goliath, I can show you the exact spot where it happened. Okay? So things like that, it is very interesting in Bible study. Although the Old Testament is quite boring when you go to Bible college to study, I give you a kind of excitement every week when you come to Bible study with fresh revelation for you. Like, for example, the Exodus. When they left Egypt, they crossed the Red Sea. Which part? Okay? What is the evidence that they used that place to cross the Red Sea? All these things is also very important when you study the Word of God so that you will have a detailed understanding. Yeah. So my ministry is called Shin Multimedia. Shin is a Hebrew word, all right? And that word there is God. So you can translate as God's multimedia hub. All right. So this is work by faith. I live by faith. I very rarely ask money from people. Most people they support me with the unction of Holy Spirit. They will help me to do my work. But in meetings like this, there are always visitors like you, first time coming in, and I have to pay for you to come in. So I think it's fair that you pay a little bit for what I pay for you. That's all only. I just want to also address this issue. I'm sure all of you come from a church. You come from a church. I'm sure you have a pastor, right? You have a pastor, and most of the pastor, their salary is paid by you. They don't live by faith. They paid by you. They are paid workers of the Lord, and the money come from you. Okay, every month they don't have to wait for the money to fall from heaven. that they can survive. So they don't have the stress of that. So what they are doing is not living by faith. Living by faith is actually you don't ask and then God provide for you. And that's not easy. Let me explain to you. This is a testimony to you. When the Lord first asked me to go full time, it was frightening. I've got 3 daughters, 2 in college, 1 in university. Just the fees alone is about 7,000 ringgit a month. Okay? Plus my living expenses is about 20,000 a month. Now, 20,000 a month, if there is no support, just 1 month, my children, my wife have to live in the streets. That is the danger that I experienced to go full time. So God has called you, would you do or would you not do? Would you go or not go? So it was very testing for me, because what if no money comes in? And the condition is I must not tell people what I need. Okay. So I went full time. For people to give you 20,000 a month once, it's possible. Okay. It's possible. But for a period of 10 years without telling people, is it possible? You'll say, no, it's quite impossible. That's where God comes in. So throughout my work with the Lord, He has provided without me asking. Okay. Now, how much can people give, like in Malaysia? All right. Even they give 500 ringgit is a lot of money. To me, in UK, 500 ringgit is not even 100 pounds. Cannot survive. All right. You convert from other currency to UK currency, very hard to survive. And you expect everybody to give you every month? Well, surely no. But yet God has always provided, even as provided for Elijah. When the brooks is dry, He sent the rain. Exactly, He does that. So I got no issue with money at all. Not at all. He always provide. But at the same time, that even as you pay for your pastor's salary, I don't have a salary. And it makes me very disappointed when I talk about this, all right? And I got people write in the chat and say that if I know got to pay, I don't come in. I'm going to leave now. All right? You say the message should be free. Well, you have a double standard. Your pastor, you never say free. Me, you say it is free. It is very unjust. Okay? So this is what, as a person who live by faith, have to face. Sometimes I get abuses from Christians who are very hard-hearted, who are very unconcerned, who doesn't have compassion. All right. So I am not fishing for money. I'm just telling you the truth. That's all. So it doesn't matter. Like I say, you don't give any money, my boss will still provide. Okay. So, but if you think that this is a good ministry, you want to water this ministry, you want to grow this ministry, then support the work. That's it. Yeah. So I want to end by telling you this. All of you here sitting tonight listening to this message, I would tell you that we are just buying time. Whatever that is written in the Bible, the great tribulation, the mark of the beast, the judgment of God, all right, the letters to the 7 churches, all right, the abomination of desolation in Israel, all this will come to pass. Just like Hezekiah asked for, Lord, give me 15 years. God is answering the prayers of some of the Christians. Lord, give us time to save our family, to help our friends to see you. Lord, give us time to wrap up our life. That's all. God is giving you this time. Because if you don't pray for Donald Trump, if the next government is Democrat, there will never be a Republican Party anymore. That will be a totalitarian government. You know why? because they already set the pace to do that already. And right now, the government is run by Obama and Hillary Clinton on the deep state behalf. Okay, so why they choose Joe Biden? Because Joe Biden, when they choose him, he was already almost seen, already got dementia. They know, so they can control him by giving him, messages, for him to present out to people. They plan one, all of it, they plan out through the teleprompter. He only say what they want him to say. That's it. And Kamala Harris is the same. You look at her when she go for her rally. All right, she use a teleprompter. She will never give a one-to-one interview that doesn't use teleprompter because she make a lot of mistakes. She is just a puppet in the string. So she cannot tell you anything. If she say anything wrong, she will have to commit to do it when she become the president. So they stop her from talking to the press without a teleprompter. So with Donald Trump, he say what he want to say in his heart. He's free to say because he's not governed by people. Yeah, that's the truth. You read news like this: Taiwan trains for war as China talks tough. All these come from Western news. And news like this: are US and China going to war? This is all the propaganda that is happening right now to get the people, the psychic, to get ready for war. Remember that the media, when you repeat many, many times over, then people begin to get used to it, then people agree to it. One simple illustration is this. Because of this warmongering, all right, I wish I got the video now. I played, there was a Korean guy went fishing in Melbourne by the port there. So he was fishing, and then suddenly a man with an umbrella came and hit this young Korean man, all right, and scold him, "You Chinese, go back to China, all right, you evil people." Start beating the Korean. And the Korean defended himself and said, "I'm not Chinese, I'm Korean." But this poor Australian cannot differentiate between the Korean, Japanese, or a Chinese, and beat him. So you can see how the media can cause people to behave in that manner. Yeah. So it's powerful. And what they're trying is already build up the momentum for war. Okay. All the ships, aircraft carrier are now, the major ones are based in Asia or in the South China Sea. And they want to fight a war from the ship, not from their own country, so that there'll be limited casualty. The casualty will be whatever number of people in the ship, that's all. Okay. Now, why? Because I believe that the devil in Isaiah 14:12, it says, "Now you have fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to the ground, O destroyer of nations." And I believe that he has an intention to end everything prematurely. Okay? And God wants everything to happen according to the time he set out to. So we are on the doorway to the Third World War. All right? You can see the crisis in the Middle East. Israel, Hamas, now Hezbollah, and Iran want to join in. And once Iran join, all the Muslim nations will attack Israel. Okay, one part of the world. Ukraine with what they call Russia, and now China. And then America has forced North Korea, Pakistan, China, and Russia together through what they did. Now, when they do that, what happened is all these countries that I mentioned has got nuclear armament. And most likely, the next war, nuclear bombs will be used. So we don't want that, because when that happens, there will be a global winter. What is a global winter? That means when you bomb China or China bomb America, the nuclear ashes will rise into the clouds, and the clouds will carry that ashes to every part of the world. And then, all right, any plants you have become radioactive, and then it will bring cancer, it will bring disease, it will bring lots of suffering. We don't want that. That is the reality of a war, my brothers and sisters. So God has an appointed time for everything. So I'm going to tell you about this appointed time. Jesus' first coming is according to the feast of the Lord. In the spring feast, which is Passover, the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of first fruit, and Pentecost, Jesus came to be the lamb that was slain. And because he came to be the lamb that was slain, his blood cleanses all sin. The feast of unleavened bread represents Jesus, who was the sinless one that died for you and me. And the feast of first fruit speaks of him being the first fruit of the dead. Because he rise from the dead, today we can rise with him. And Pentecost is when he brought the Holy Spirit to us so that we can do the work and finish it in the summertime. So you can see spring, summer. Summer is where the church age is. And then now we are entering into fall or winter. Winter means darkness. That means before Jesus comes, there will be great darkness on this earth. Right now, is there great darkness on this earth? Can someone answer me?
Yes. Yes.
You can see great darkness all over the world. So that means we are now living in the fall of God's appointed time. And 3 more feasts will have to be celebrated before Jesus returns. The Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets means not one trumpet, but many trumpets. The first trumpets is the rapture, followed by 7 trumpets, which is the judgment of God. And subsequently, after that, only the Jews will receive Jesus as their Messiah. Okay? And once that happens, okay, it will take us to the next thing. The next thing is Jesus will return, second coming. Now, he returned to tabernacle with you and me. That means he come and live with you and me. And this is during the time of the millennium. Man has lived 6 millennium. They rule themselves 6 millennium. Jesus is returning to rule on the 7th millennium, and that is the Sabbath of God. That means every part of the civilization enter into the rest of God. It means that. So it is according to the prophetic time of God. It's God's time, God's appointed time, not our time, not our prediction. You know, a lot of people try to predict when Jesus will come back. No, it is according to his appointed time, and he will come back during the Feast of Tabernacles according to his feast. And yet, a lot of Christians think that all these feasts are Jewish feasts. They are not. They are the feasts of the Lord, and these are the appointed time of the Lord. Without seeing these 7 feasts, we will not understand the prophetic timeline. So I'm sure some of you hear this for the first time because you are too westernized in your form of Christianity. So I give you a very clear understanding where we are at. So we are in the eve of the Yom Teruah, or the Feast of Trumpets. So the end of it is the Feast of Tabernacles. That is where God will return to reign for 1,000 years. All right. So a lot of people are in a hurry to go to heaven. All right. While Jesus is coming to earth. So there is something wrong with our doctrine. And God has called you and me to be a priest unto the Lord for 1,000 years when he come back. So some of us don't even know that we have to be a priest unto the Lord. So this is where we are at today. Why it's so important to understand world events. And tonight, the coverage is on Elon Musk. Why God is using him at this point of time. And the focus is to make sure that America still have the light of God. If America don't have the light of God, then you can have a countdown already of Jesus' return. Okay? So Jesus cannot return according to the devil's time. He cannot return according to man's time. He can only return according to his appointed time. So I hope you capture the full understanding of what I'm trying to share today. So this is where I finish. And I stop here. And I want to know whether you understand clearly what I'm trying to tell you or not. Yeah? Okay, tell me. Give me your perception. Give me your understanding. Yeah?
Yes, understand. Thank you very much for the very clear explanation.
So can you see the big picture? All right. When you learn to read between the lines, when you see things, you must think, why is it happening like that? What is God trying to tell me? You must ask questions, all right? And you must find the right answer to it. So when I give this message to you, if I'm not sure, I will not give it to you because you will be deceived by me if I'm not sure. All right. So I give you all this with facts. All right. These are factual. What is happening is factual. I've got much, much more, but I cannot put it all in one sitting like that. It got to be broken up in smaller parts for you to be able to digest or chew the message. Yeah. So praise God. Now, anything like you to ask me right now before we call it a night for all of you?
Hi, Brother Reggie, Lucy here. I want to ask you, just now you mentioned that all these have to come, but then it's just a delay of time. For example, if this Donald Trump is going to come to what they call reign, and then he let's say, for example, another 4 years or 8 years time. But after that, those unvaccinated, what shall they do?
There's a saying, Chinese saying, when you come to the bridge, then you cross it. Okay. A lot of Christians have fear, and then some of them they buy land in Malaysia, they buy in Pahang, they try to grow crops and all that. They try to do farming and all that. My brothers and sisters, please. I tell you a true case, there's a pastor, and this pastor is a rich man. He bought a piece of land and he thought of our last days. He want to do farming so that he can feed the people don't have food, when the time comes. All right. So the question is that the right decision to do? The answer is no, unless you are called to do that. So you know why? Because farming is not everybody's cup of tea. You cannot employ people to farm because farming is very hard job, very difficult job. Okay. And how much you're going to pay people to farm? If you pay a lot of people a lot of money to farm, the produce of the land, okay, will become very expensive, more expensive than you buy in the marketplace. Now, and after you harvest, where are you going to sell? Vegetables, very easily rot. The maximum can last is 2 days. Then the vegetable rot already. So you have a market to sell it or not. But it's not yet end time. Okay? So what happened is this farm run at a loss of something like 20, 30,000 per month. Is it wise? Can you answer me?
No,
Really not.
no,
All right.
no.
So if you ask me what you can do is this, you can do vertical farming for individual people. Don't try to do for other people. You can learn farming in your flat, even your apartment. If there's a place got sunlight come in your home little garden, You can do vertical farming, grow certain vegetables. And even when end times come, don't worry. You will know because the Bible says that, that watch and pray. So you know what to watch. Okay, you know when it's coming near. All you need to do is buy some rice, okay, some canned food that can last you about 2 years is good enough. Because the Great Tribulation will not last a long, long time. It's a short period of time, about 3.5 years, I think. That's it. So don't have to go to out of the way to do all this. You are fearful. For me, I'm not interested to do all that. I'm more interested to let people find and see God. Salvation is better than doing all this. So I'm more concerned with the salvation of your families, your friends, and all that. Okay, that is the priority, not food. Okay.
Well, Reggie, I'm not talking about the food, but I'm talking about those not vaccinated. They have the a pandemic treaty whereby they have the authority to force jab, like what you say, go to the houses and to vaccinate people. I'm talking
All
about
right.
that, not
I
the shortage of food.
I also have this thing from WEF. I went to their website, and this is what they say. They know that you will not live in the city. You leave the cities because it did mention there are people who disagree with the 15-minute city. There are people who disagree with their plans. This minority say will not live in the cities. They are cities lah. Okay, that means you don't have to worry. The time come, you will know what to do. I'm very sure that we will know what to do. So more importantly is you are updated on what's going on. So coming to my meetings and all that, I'm just like a person who gives you the updates on what's going on, the latest. Like right now is an update of what's going on. So you don't have to fear. All you need to do is focus on God, do what God tells you to do, more than preparing for the mark to come and all that. Don't have to prepare all that. The time when it comes, you will know what to do. If you are together with me, I will help to give certain instruction to you what you can do. Okay, so just that the first thing to know is that whether your country signed the pandemic treaty. If they sign already, then you know when the pandemic come, don't stay in your home already. You go elsewhere. All right. If this treaty signed, they will force you to take it. All right.
So isn't it if the country has already signed, does it mean that the citizens who are not vaccinated, I mean especially Christians, they should prepare themselves to go elsewhere because they also need time to prepare early, to have a visa and things like that, for preparation?
Yeah. You most likely, if you don't want to take the vaccine, you have got to go away from your written address because they cannot find you in your friend's house. They can only find you in your house. They will look for you in your house. They will come for you. Okay? So that's what when the time arrives, we must do accordingly. But a lot of people have what we call psychosis, that is they fear about everything, we don't fear. We are a person that live with confidence in God. So I don't have fear, even though I know these things are coming. All right. You know that when I came back to UK, I did not take the vaccine. When I came back, one day 50,000 people get COVID-19. And here people die like flies in UK. And I came back, the airport was empty, and it was really terrible. I came back, without taking the vaccine. All right. But yet I still can move. So it is in the hands of God. Yeah. Because we all have one life. Some of us are healthy, some of us are not. Some of us are rich, some of us are not. Some of us can walk normally, some cannot. But it doesn't matter. So let me close with this very simple idea to help you digest in your system. I'd like to tell the story of a cup of coffee. You may have heard it before, you may not, but it is illustrated in my own approach towards this simple parable, I call that. Now, there was a professor that invited his ex-student to come to his house for a cup of coffee. All right, they all turned up and they were complaining about life. Some of them were disappointed, all kinds of things they were talking about. And then the professor brought out coffee. Now, he brought out the coffee. Obviously, you know, your house maybe will have 3 cups, 4 cups for yourself. Yeah. But the rest of it, if you have maybe 30 people in your house, you bring out all the cups that you have, plastic cup, paper cup, what cup you bring out, and then you serve it to the people. Yeah. And then you pour the coffee, the students take the coffee. And this is what he observed, that all the people choose the pretty cups, the coffee cup, the Starbucks mug, you know, all those nice cups. But the paper cup, the plastic cup, they leave behind. And then the professor spoke to the people. And he told them, he said, life is like the coffee cup you hold in your hand. So he asked the question, whatever cup you hold, the porcelain cup, the mug, the Starbucks mug, or the clay mug, whatever mug you hold, is it the same coffee? He asked a question. And all of them say yes. And then the understanding of this very simple illustration is this. The cup represents the circumstances of our life. Some of us are comfortable, some of us are uncomfortable, some of us are sick, some of us are healthy. These are our circumstances. You agree? The circumstances of life. Emily, your circumstances, you have failed kidney. All right, but you are still alive. You still can live, can eat. All right, there are some people bedridden. I know of people get stroke. My sister-in-law, okay, got brain aneurysm. Totally cannot communicate with people, just lying down in the bed. And we don't know whether she is active, the brain is active or inactive. Imagine that you are trapped in the body and then your mind is mentally alert, but you cannot tell people that you are hungry. You cannot tell people your body is itchy. You just lie down there. Which is worse? So it's just like the coffee cup. Now, the coffee, what is the coffee? The coffee represents God. All right? God is the same whether you rich, poor, sick, not sick, all right, clever, not clever. It is the same coffee. So just enjoy the coffee. It means just enjoy God in whatever your circumstances. So that way, we don't have high expectation out of God in our circumstances. We are happy with the cup that God gives to us. Amen. Too many people want the porcelain cup. We all want to be rich, successful Christian. You ask a pastor of a church, you want to be a mega church. You don't want to be a small church with 30, 40 people. Okay? So Brother Boon Hong is just drinking his coffee, so I just follow him. Okay, I hope that helps you, okay, to be encouraged by whatever you are going through, that there's always hope in Christ. Yeah, amen.
Pastor Reggie, this is Melanie. I just want to thank you for sharing lots of information that we learned and to read between the lines. Talking about the treaty, what I understand is Malaysian. Actually, one of our PMX has actually signed the treaty, and the treaty is a MOU that will take about a year. So it requires that all Malaysians to if it's not for this, and we need to turn around to go against this. And I think there's a few months left. So I do not know how are we able to gather all Malaysians and the Christians at large to unite together to definitely have to voice out against this. But many a times when we Christians pray and we pray and cry over this, but come to like certain things, we find that it's so hard to get us as Christians, especially even in the mainland churches. We want to speak to them, how it's quite difficult. And I just find that in my capacity as individual, I find it so difficult to speak to people. How are we going to do to turn this around? Because it's only a few months left and we are in the emergent state, and not to have this happen, in Malaysia, where
All right.
2025 will be definitely a deadline that it will happen, for this treaty. And we just want to, I also just want to take this opportunity to warn all our believers here, it is happening now. Yeah, thank you. All to you, Brother Reggie.
Okay, I hear you. What you can do, obviously, the first step is to pray. Now, the problem is many Christians are divided over this. So it's hard to get people of the like-minded to do this together. First thing is to pray. Second thing is to go through a channel that can reach out to the people who make decision. Okay, as you pray, you must do something. There are some Christian, what you call politicians in Malaysia. You all gather together and invite the politician to your meeting, and then speak of the concern you have to them. All right, they probably could do something, because you can go to the streets and protest and all that, nothing will work. Okay, but if you were to carry it to certain people, they may do something about it. Okay, how they're going to do it, I don't know, but at least you made an attempt to do it. That's what I see. Okay, so you have to pray, and then you need to get the right people, all right, to help to get this be known to the people who signed the what they call the pandemic treaty, the challenges and all that, So that's what I think we could do, lah. And since this is a issue, I'm going to do a meeting on the pandemic treaty. So what I would like you to do is to invite as many people, especially like in Malaysia, to come for the meeting, and I will speak about the pandemic treaty, why this thing shouldn't be taken, and I give you all the facts about it. So that will be at least can influence some of the people who still do not understand. Yeah. So that way, it will help more people to understand what is at stake. So part of what we are sharing relating to America is also leading to this issue of the next pandemic that is coming. They are preparing for next pandemic to execute what they want to do. I believe that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Brother Reggie. I will see how what I can and to influence more.
I will do a meeting. Probably it will be very, very soon. All right. I think this is, as I hear you, I think this is urgent since Malaysia. I didn't know that Malaysia have signed to agree to this. 25 nations have signed it. I didn't know that Malaysia is one of them. Okay.
Yes.
Once you sign, you are part of the country that will adhere to everything WHO say or do. Okay.
Thanks.
Welcome. Anybody else before we say good night to you? It is more than 10:30 already. Last question, okay?
Yeah, Brother Reggie, I put a question in the chat. I don't know whether it's silly or not. My question is when, but do you think China will eventually become a Christian nation?
We hope, we pray.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's important because once a country become Christian nation, the light is upon the nation. You can see in the West before what happened to them today. All right, the light was upon America, the light was upon Europe, the light was upon United Kingdom, remember? And we all wanted to migrate to the Western country. Okay, it was the best. Today, you don't want to go to the Western country anymore because they left their God. Everything is in shambles. Now I tell you, the children here go to school, they are taught about homosexuality. All right. And they every week, every month they have a gender change day. For example, this week, everybody wear girls, including the teacher. The boys will wear girls' skirt and all that. And then another day, all the girls will wear all men's, okay, to celebrate diversity, they call it. And then they teach their children it's okay to have sex change. 9 years old kid cut off the pennies and become a woman. 9 years old, the kid she's still a kid, doesn't know what he want. Just because the kid say, I think I'm a woman, then they cut off the pennies. All right. So this is happening in the Western world. I think it's a horror for Asian, for things like that. And then if you actually come against the state, they call it, then they will take your children away from you. All right. So you don't want to live in this type of world anymore. And this is the Western nation where it is today. They have left their God and they make very stupid decisions. You look at all the Western nation, all the extreme kind of M people enter their place, right? The extreme M people. And then they come and protest. They burn up British flag, all right? They desecrate the British monument and all that. So who brought them in? It is the silly Christians that left their God and then left it to the enemy to do what they want. Very sadly, yeah. Okay, any more? No more. We say good night, yeah.
Last question, Brother Reggie.
Okay, last question.
Just now you were saying, just now I heard that the pandemic treaty in Malaysia has been signed now. So they're going to come to every one of our house to force us to vaccinate. Then you just told us that we run away from our house. So when we know they're coming, we just go to our relative's house or somewhere in Penang or somewhere else. Is it okay? Or lock up the house or something like that?
I think so, because like I say, when you come to a bridge, you cross it. I really don't know how to react, But as you can see in Malaysia, during the pandemic, they force people not to come out, right? All right, people, no movement at all, the police and everybody is above everybody else. And then they even suspend parliament. They can do anything they want once they submit to this. If they say WHO give them the authority to go to every home who refuse to take the vaccine, they will force it, they will execute it, because in the name of making sure the virus doesn't spread to other people, all right, then they have to force you to take the vaccine. It's no longer an option. Like the wearing the mask. Actually, wearing the mask doesn't help anybody. I explained to you, you wear the mask, right? All right. Can you see the virus? You know how small the virus is?
That's why mentality of Malaysians are terrible.
You wear the mask, you think you protect. Actually, you deprive yourself of oxygen. That's it. Now, let me give you an example. Just recently, my friend had a very bad throat. I never eat his food. I never come near him. But I was with him. We were socializing. Okay, that virus got into my throat, but it didn't affect me because of my good, what you call, immune system in my body. But I carried it home. My wife got it, but my wife immune system no good. Whole night cough. All right, the voice gone, everything gone. Okay, but I'm normal, that's why I still can preach, right? But my wife can't even talk because of the sore throat. So that proves to you that the virus can spread. You put mask, unless you have the surgical mask, How many people can wear the surgical mask? Then it can protect you. Okay?
But I heard the pandemic treaty is they come to you at gunpoint, no? Over in America, but Malaysia, they're not going to come to us at gunpoint. But in America, they're going to do that.
What we know is that it's just that the pandemic treaty give them the right to force it upon you. So how they force it upon you, we don't know lah. Okay, we just really don't know. That's all only. So everything is coming to a close lah. Jesus is going to return. Okay, so that's why we face these kind of challenges that we never even think or dream about. All right, I don't want to talk about this anymore because let me do a topic on this. Then you come in and you can know what to do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.